Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Yesterday, starring Himesh Patel, Lily James, Ed Sheeran, and Kate McKinnon, directed by Danny Boyle. The final movie by Danny Boyle, for now. So, let's get into this because I'm pretty sure that everybody wants to hear about the Beatles movie, so let's just get into it. Jake Malik, played by Himesh Patel, who I swear to God, for the longest time I thought was related to Dev Patel, but that's not true at all, is an overwashed songwriter with his manager slash friend Ellie Appleton, played by Lily James. And I really like these two as characters. And I really like their relationship as characters. Rocky is a character I do not like because he gets fired from a band and he's a lazy bum. And he mucks everything up. He mucks everything up and he says whatever the hell he pleases. Jack almost gives up music and singing gigs, and he asks Ellie to pull over and rides his bike and gets hit by a blackout bus, and as well as the whole world, because the whole world blacks out and he winds up in the hospital. And I'm liking these scenes so far. Jack gets out of their hospital and Ellie takes him to their friend's place, and Ellie gets him a guitar and he tries to add out and sings one of the Beatles songs, Yesterday, in which nobody is aware of who the Beatles are, as they don't exist after the blackout. And I really like this plot as a movie because it's original, a way to tell the Beatles. He realizes nobody has ever heard of the Beatles as a band. He starts off to write their songs and comes to existence by Jack. He shows his parents the song Let It Be to his parents and their neighbors, and that scene is pretty awkward in my opinion. Yeah, cut it out. Ellie gets a business card from Gavin to become an artist. I like Gavin for what little he does in this movie. And I'm liking how Jack becomes famous for his songs and originally written by the Beatles. Ed Sheeran, who plays himself, is introduced into the picture. And I like him in this movie. He's a good singer, and he's good in this movie. Jack asks Rocky to be his manager for the Ed Sheeran show after Ed asks to play 30 minutes before Ed is successful. And he's successful to be before Ed's song, and Ed asks to write a song better than his in 10 minutes or less. And they both sing their songs, and Jack wins as he plays beautiful songs by the Beatles throughout this movie. Deborah Hammer, played by Kate McKinnon, from the recent movie of... And I don't like her comedy style, but she's good in this movie as she plays Ed's and Jack's manager, who I feel is corrupt, Ed. But I didn't mind her in this movie. The scenes in LA I felt was a little bit more Kate McKinnon than Jack, as she's criticizing a few of his songs and making the whole thing about her in those scenes kind of bothered me, I must say. Ellie visits Jack in LA and have dinner together and go back to Jack's room and have a brief sexual intercourse until she stops it, and I really wanted them to get together by the end of the day because I really liked their chemistry together as he chooses his musical career over her, which did depress me as they meet in the coffee shop scene because like I said, wanted them to get together by the end of the day, with which I'll talk about that later. Ellie tells Jack about the Pier Hotel that wouldn't let him sing reopened, and she's seeing Gavin, which is about as depressing as when he ditches Ellie at the coffee shop. Jack wants to perform at the Pier Hotel, and Deborah agrees, and she's becoming a pain in the ass. And I thought, just fire her and go back to Ellie, because Ellie was a better person as a manager than Deborah. After a brief talking to by a couple, Jack goes to the house of John and talk about life without fame, and that scene was absolutely beautifully shot. And I love the shot at the beach where as he realizes he needs to tell the truth about who originally wrote these songs, and as the concert goes on, Jack tells Ellie backstage to tell her how much he loves her and tells the truth about the Beatles as it's their songs, and ditches the concert, and Deborah goes with Ellie and loves her forever, and eventually get married, and he sings a mini concert for kids. And I like the ending quite a bit as credits roll to the song Hey Jude, which is a good song, don't get me wrong, it really is. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 7.8 out of 10. This is a pretty good movie with refreshments of the Beatles songs. The actors were magnificent in their performances, and the chemistry between Himesh Patel and Lily James is what makes this movie sing. Danny Boyle started off with bad movies, but 28 Days Later and on, he's built an impressive career, and I'm really impressed with his movieography. Please see this movie. It's really good. I mean, it's pretty good for what it is, so I'll just say that much. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and until next time, and action.